the third to last race on the program. Come Friday, late afternoon, early evening, is race number 6, a 76 handicap for fillies and mares over 1,200 metres. It's going to be an interesting race because there's some horses that are well tried and some runners that are a bit out of form that are going to battle. I think we're in for another good finish, Graham, because we've been treated to some wonderful racing and some wonderful finishes. But you and I, we were a little different in the earlier part of the race meeting, but we're starting to agree now. And we both have found a horse here that you tell me is at 14-1 at time of recording. Her form on the turf is quite good. Her form other than that is a bit woeful. Harrier for Teddy Prinsloo, Mr. Dempers, Ashton Aries, third fastest finishing last time. I thought her effort on the turf behind Meet the George was excellent.
It's a huge surprise to me that she's been priced up at such long odds. 12 and 14-1, number 3, Harrier. She's only run twice over the course and distance. She's finished second on both occasions. A while back, second to Solar Flare over the course and distance. Then in between, a few in different runs, but then back over 1,200 metres on the turf track at Hollywood Bets Gravel, second under a length to Meet at the George. Ashton Aries is having a very good run at the moment. Harrier's drawn in gate number 3. I fully understand and accept that this is a fillies and mares 76 handicap over 1,200 metres and thus is more tricky than that. But I think at the odds that they've opened number 3, Harrier at, she's very, very good value. Obviously, there are others, Warren, and my second choice in the race is in fact number 5, which is Silver Dazzle. Very genuine, very consistent, always there and thereabouts. My third choice is my good friend Brian McNamara's filly, Hugs Accepted. I don't quite know what to make of Hugs Accepted because she got badly left last time. She was obviously suspended. She's been reschooled. Peter Muscat is cautiously optimistic that he's sorted out her starting stall's problems. She's again drawn in pole position. If she gets away on terms, and given the fact that she should appreciate the step up from 1,000 to 1,200 metres, she should be a factor, but much will depend on what happens at the start. My fourth selection is number 8, Someone Exciting, but it's a tricky race.
It is a tricky race, and it's nice that you and I agree with Harrier. We certainly have a few rand each way on her at that price. But what I do want to ask you about is, we agree on our first choice, but our second choice, we're quite different, and second and third choice. I quite like number 10, Matadora's Parade for Patla and Keegan DeMello. And I agree with what the computer form comment is with her last performance. She can do better. Overall form, she always gives you an honest run. She tops the speed form column with Brunilda, horse number 6. I like her for exactors and swingers. Would you respect her?
She has an obvious chance to run into the frame. She's seldom far behind them. In fact, if you go back in her form line, you've got to go back quite some way to find when she's finished more than 3 lengths behind the winner. She was second in a penultimate start in a race that has produced winners. Last time out was only 2 lengths behind Glitter and Gold, so she's an obvious inclusion as far as quartet calculations are concerned. She should be doing her best work at the end. La Vue is another one that has claims from a good draw. And then our good friend across the page here, well, we mentioned, of course, is Someone Exciting, because there's always been a lot of talk about her, and she's finished 4th to the very talented Admire Me in her last 2 outings, so she could also be a factor. But we're both in the camp of number 3, Harrier.
Well, if Harrier happens to get it right, we certainly could be getting some wonderful Christmas presents, because we're inching closer to Christmas. Harrier, horse number 3, Graham Hawkins and I, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, take your pick.